Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. Another review, the third one for this week. I'm hoping to do Zurich as well this week, but not sure if I'll get it in, but we will see. For the moment, let's concentrate on where we are. Got a lovely view here with the mountains in the background. Where are we? We're in Italy, and this is Milan Malpensa International Airport in Italy. Lima India Mike Charlie. This is a payware Sydney from Aerosoft, and we're looking at version 1, the release version for Flight Simulator 2020. No information yet as to whether it's available for 2024. If it is, I'll put a note up on the screen during this video. The download comes in at 1.38 gigs and it installs at 2.61 gigs. It's available currently from 3 locations, Simmarket, Contrail and the Aerosoft Shop. I'll give you the Contrail price because it's the best price at the moment, about €3.5 cheaper than it is at Simmarket or the Aerosoft Shop. So the Contrail price comes in at £19.64 UK, which equates to roughly $24.58 US, or €23.63. Those prices are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on which country you're in when you buy it. As I said, Simmarket and Aerosoft Shop, it's available there. It's about €3 more. So let's have a look at features. So the features of this airport. We have a precise rendition of Milan Malpensa Airport with a current 2024 layout. Detailed terminal buildings with visible interior modelling from airside, which I think means they actually haven't developed airside inside, you just can see it from the outside. High quality custom objects including taxiway signage and light fixtures, realistic night lighting effects with dynamic illumination, custom aerial imagery of the airport and the vicinity. It's compatible with the Aerosoft Visual Docking Guidance System module featuring SafeDock T1 systems. Dynamic environment with custom apron vehicle traffic and terminal train animations, accurate terrain elevation mesh and runway profiles, and they have AI traffic support with airline specific parking assignments, so those of you who fly offline and use AI traffic, you're accommodated. There's also a GSX Profile available on flightsim.to, and I'll put the link in the description below this video for you. So that was a feature list. Let's talk some history. So history, Milan Malpensa Silvano Berlusconi Airport, Lima India Mike Charlie, is a public use international airport owned by SEA.SPA and operated by SEA Aeroporti di Milano. The airport is located in Ferno in the province of Varese, Lombardy in Italy, some 30 miles or 49 kilometers northwest of Milan, next to the Ticino River dividing Lombardy and Piedmont. The airport is located inside the Parco Natural Lombardy della Valle di Ticino, a nature reserve included in UNESCO in the World Network of Biosphere Reserves. I'll put that name up because my pronunciation isn't brilliant. It is the largest airport in northern Italy, serving Lombardy, Piedmont and Liguria, as well as the Swiss canton of Ticino. Milan Malpensa was opened in 1909 by Giovanni Augusta and Gianni Caprioni to test their aircraft prototypes before switching to civil operation in 1948. Together with Linate Airport and Bergamo Airport, it forms the Milan airport system with 42.2 million passengers accounted for in 2022, the largest airport system in Italy by number of passengers. The site of today's Malpensa Airport has seen aviation activities for more than 100 years. The first began in May 1910 when the Caproni brothers flew their flying machine, the Cal biplane. In the years that followed, many aircraft prototypes took off from the same site, and eventually was decided to upgrade the farming patch to a more formal airfield. Both Gianni Caproni and Giovanni Augusta established factories on the new site, and the airfield soon developed into the largest aircraft production centre in Italy. Malpensa Airport officially began commercial operations in November 1948 as Aeroporto Città di Busto Arsio, although the Belgian national flag carrier Sabina had started flying to Brussels from Milan a year earlier. On the 2nd of February 1950, Trans World Airlines, what was TWA, became the first company to fly long-haul flights from Malpensa using Lockheed Constellations on their services to New York City Idlewild Airport, which is now JFK. A change of ownership occurred in 1952 when the municipality of Milan took control of the airport's operator, the Società Aeroporto di Busto Arsio, or SEA. After assuming full control, SEA decided to develop Malpensa as an international and intercontinental gateway, whereas Milan's other airport, Linate, would be tasked with handling only domestic services. During the night of the 24th-25th October 1998, Alitalia moved the majority of its fleet from Rome Fiumicino Airport, where it had been flying for over 50 years, to Malpensa Airport. The airport started a new lease of life as the Italian flag carrier's main hub. Before 2001, ground handling services at Malpensa were shared by the SEA, the airport's operator, and Trans World Airlines. Since then, there has been much deregulation. In 2000, airport security services at Milan Malpensa were transferred from the state police to SEA's internal division, the SEA Airport Security. Since 2010, the low-cost carrier EasyJet made Malpensa its main base after London Gatwick, with more than 20 of its Airbus A319s and Airbus A320s based there. The airline currently flies services from Malpensa to more than 70 destinations in Italy and across Europe. Malpensa Airport has 2 passenger terminals, and they are connected by free airport shuttle buses and trains. Concourse A handles domestic and intra-Schengen flights. Concourse B handles non-Schengen and intercontinental flights. Concourse C, also known as Bravo 2 or B2, opened in 2012 and handles non-Schengen, intercontinental flights and security-sensitive flights to the USA and Israel. Over 80 airlines and some 20 cargo operators use Milan Malpensa International Airport. So there you go, quite a big history, and as you can see from this shot and the shots we've been looking at as we go through the history here, this is a vast scenery with lots of work and lots of effort. To be honest, I'm quite amazed that they've kept the installation down to just over 2.5 gigs. It's huge and quite a bit to look at. But for the moment, let's look at runways. Okay, runways. So it's just after 4:30 in the afternoon local time. It's the 20th December 2024 is the date of this video, so as you can see we're in winter. So Milan Malpensa Airport operates 2 parallel runways. Runway 35 left 17 right and 35 right 17 left both measure 12,861 feet or 3,920 meters. Both runways are constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 768 feet or 234 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now Italy, like most European countries, does indeed observe Daylight Saving Time or DST, which at the moment is not in operation, so the airport remains 1 hour ahead of the UK. So we're looking down the throat of runway 17 left at the moment. 17 left, 35 right. The entire runway features high-intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, short field lighting system and precision approach path indicators on both sides. Now here you can see the short field lighting system. There's the centerline, the PAPIs are on both sides, and you have the high-intensity airfield lighting system. Now the other end, runway 35 right, also features touchdown zone lighting. We'll have a look at that in a second. So the approach is available for runway 17 left. You have a VOR approach option only for this end. So let's go and have a look at the other end, runway 35 right. So here we are looking at the opposite end, runway 35 right. And as you can see, you've got the high intensity airfield lighting system, PAPIs on both sides, the centre line, just like the other end. But here, of course, is the touchdown zone lighting. And of course you've got the approach lighting here as well, which is as per the charts. Now, as you can see, this end of the runway seems to be much more developed in terms of approach lighting and systems available, and that's because runway 35 right features an instrument landing system with X, Y and Z options and is certified for Cat 2 and 3 low visibility for operations. So when the weather's below minimum and the wind's not too bad, this is where you come in. You also have an RNP and a VOR approach option available here too. So that does it for 17 left, 35 right. Let's move across and look at the other runway. So here we're looking down the throat to runway 35 left. This is 35 left, 17 right. And this runway features high intensity runway lighting and centerline lighting, which you can see. You also have high intensity airfield lighting system version 2, touchdown zone lighting, short field lighting, and the precision approach path indicators on both sides. So everything's here. You have the full approach system here, and all the lighting is as per the charts. For 35 left, once again you have instrument landing system with X, Y and Z options, again certified for both Cat 2 and 3 low visibility ops. And you also have an RNP and VOR approach option. Let's quick look at the other end, runway 17 right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 17 right, which features a runway end identifier lighting system, as well as the high intensity lighting. Here you can see the two flashing white lights, which indicates the runway end identifier lighting. And you've got the centerline and the high intensity lighting and the PAPIs on both sides as per the charts. Approaches for runway 17 right, you just have an RNP Y and Z approach option. No ILS then at both ends of here on runway 17 left and right. So Cat 2 or 3 approaches or low visibility or ILS approaches are all at the runway 35 end. So a couple of notes for you. The airport's not available to Chapter 2 aircraft except in an emergency. So if you've got old aircraft like the Boeing 727 for example, or the older versions of the 737, they're not permitted to land here except during an emergency. There are specific runway options used during night ops, so again check the charts for that. The airport has briefings for its uses, so just have a look at your charts. So that was runways. As you can see, Aerosoft have pretty much got it right here. Runways and navigation lighting systems are all as per the charts. So that's it. Let's look at the Jetway test now. Okay folks, Jetways. Right, so here we are on stand 409 at Milan Malpensa. This is on the international or intercontinental side of the terminal. And the keen-eyed amongst you will have noticed we're not in the 737 or the A320, but we're in something else. And yes, here we are in the Boeing 777-300. This is my aircraft painted in my livery, the PMDG version. I will say that I tried this aircraft on many stands where the 777 has a mark, but it didn't fit. The tail stuck out into the roadway, and on a couple of occasions the Jetway didn't fit properly or didn't reach. Now if we look at the markings, here you can see I've spawned directly from the menu onto the stand, and you've got these markings here which denote each particular aircraft type. You've got the smaller ones here, then everything up to the 767, then we've got the 330 up to the Dreamliner, and finally the 747 up to the 747-8. And we're correctly parked on the 777 marker. Now every stand that I tried, we ended up spawning correctly on the correct mark, but the Jetway either wouldn't reach to door 2 or just basically wouldn't seem to get anywhere close, even though the aircraft spawned correctly. So I'll tell you, before we start the Jetway test, there are a number of stands where the 777 marking is there, where the Jetway doesn't reach. You may just have to pull forward to the larger one, or just be a little bit clever about how you park when you come in to land, or if you're starting out, about what stand you choose to start from. Okay, so let's do the Jetway test. Let's connect and see if one of these Jetways works. Okay, so there we go. So the Jetway is moving, and as you can see the stairway is well raised up above the ground, so that shouldn't go into the concrete. But the Jetway is nice, it's good, it's well weathered, it looks really good. Wheels are in the right direction at the moment. And this looks like this might reach. Okay, the wheels turn. And there we are. I think the top of the hood has gone into the aircraft side, but you know what, I can deal with that. It looks like a good fit. Let's get a bit closer. Okay, so there we go. It's a reasonably good fit, but okay, we can see the hood has actually gone through the side of the aircraft here. There is a gap, but it's not too bad at all, really. Let's check from the other side. So there's how it looks from the other side. Again, not too bad. I mean, I've seen a lot worse, but it connects and reaches the doorway. While we're here, just wanted to show you this, a little bit unusual. Instead of having the portable electrical ground power unit, which you normally see at the side of the aircraft here we've got a fixed one, or what we call a fixed electrical ground power. Rather different, that's built into the concrete, and there you can see the lead wire going into the connection point into the aircraft. Not seen this in a scenery before, so that's all quite new. So let's go inside the aircraft doorway and see if we can open the door. So first of all, there you can see the gap, which unfortunately wouldn't be tolerated. It's a real pity that there. And as you can see also, the Jetway doors are closed. On many sceneries, the Jetway doors are closed or blocked up, and in many cases they do inhibit the doorway. And GSX users, well, I mean, you're going to end up seeing people walking through doors, which isn't really very nice. I just wish scenery developers would take account of GSX users and probably give them the option of having maybe having a switch or something to open the ends of each Jetway. So there you can see the Jetway hood has gone through the aircraft skin here. However, let's see if we can open the door. So there you can see the door opens. There's not a lot of room, but because this door opens in this way, there we go, the side of the Jetway has disappeared. Let's move back a bit, see if we can, yeah, there we go. So we've got little bits of issues where we can't see the inside of the Jetway hood, but the door seems to be open. Let's have a look from inside the cabin. So there's a view looking out through the cabin door towards the Jetway, and as you can see, the doorway is closed, and there's quite a bit of a gap here, really. So looking inside the cabin, just past the doorway, okay, we can see that the Jetway hood actually hasn't infringed the cabin here on this side. But here in the forward cabin you can see it has. It's gone into the aircraft side itself. But nevertheless, I mean, the Jetway at least reaches the aircraft and connects, even if it's not properly. And to be honest, this, out of maybe 4 or 5 Jetways that I've tested the 777 with, where there are actual 777 ground markings, this is the best one. This is the one that works, even though it's not completely the best, as it were. So a quick look at the Jetway from this side. As you can see, it's not bad at all, really. You're going to be able to see passengers going up and down here, even if they're going to be going through a fixed door there. A couple of little anomalies here where the sides actually don't quite reach. This just may be a visual issue. Not entirely sure, but as I said, the Jetway seems to work. This certainly one here on stand 409 works quite well. Okay, so let's disconnect the Jetway. So there we go, Jetway returns very slowly to the safe area. And also notice the red flashing lights work on top of the Jetway. That's good. And there we are, Jetway returns properly to the safe area, and the hood, the end thing sort of comes up quite nice, as it should do. So there we are, that was a Jetway test using the Boeing 777-300 extended range, parked on stand 409. By and large that works. As I said, there are other stands where it doesn't seem to work, because either the Jetways don't reach, or they reach but they don't actually connect with the door. So just be very careful about where you place your aircraft, especially if it's a heavy. So that was JETWAYS for you. Let's get down to the airport proper and have a look at what's going on here. So to begin with, we're going to start at the very far north end of the airport. This is Terminal 2 and the cargo terminal. And as you can see, loads of detail here. I mean, it looks really good, certainly on the ground. So you've got various aircraft stands here. And note all the different types of vehicles you've got as well. So this is Terminal 2. Here you would use stairs because there's no jetways. And then you've got the cargo stands. It's all nicely modelled here. It's very, very nice. Note the ground markings. Here we're on a little bit more photo scenery. So as I said, a little bit more photo scenery here, but it's not too bad. I don't know how many of you will want to use this terminal, but as you can see, it's been modelled. You've got the cars, Partenza, okay, and the buildings are nice and they've been fully weathered. All in all, it's nice. No problems with this at all. Okay, that said, let's go down now towards the main terminal complex, Terminal 1 as it's known. Here you can see various general aviation areas, much of it photo scenery out here. Well, the taxiways look good. 3D road markings here near airside where it matters. There's a smattering of different buildings there as well. And you do have various animations among the scenery, some of which we'll look at. There's the fuel trucks. You know, and it looks fine. There's plenty of detail. It's a huge project here. Very nice indeed. So here we are going past the satellite stands, the main terminal. There's my aircraft. And as you can see, various animations. You've got baggage vehicles down there that are painted in the colours of this airport. Various bits of static bits and pieces. Some static aircraft. There's an Ethiopian Dreamliner out there. But as you can see, I mean, the detail's great. It's typical Airsoft. We'll just pass over this area before we go further south along the airport. And here you've got what appears to be, you've got an elevated parking area. And here you can see the approach road that goes into the terminal. Again, nicely modelled. So we head back to airside to complete the airside tour. There you've got the animated train. Have a close look at that in a minute. It'd be interesting to see if that's lit at night, which is something that is missed quite a lot in sceneries where you have an animated train. So have a look at the control tower. In terms of exterior modelling, I mean, that looks pretty good. And here's the inside of the tower. Looking from outside, you can see we've got a controller. Let's pop in. And there's the inside. We've got two controllers, in fact. To be honest, the inside looks pretty sparse, but I guess they've got what they need. And there's another view just looking the other way. Very nice. Control tower looks good. Now we continue the airside tour. There's the fire station directly in front of us, fire engines outside, and as you can see there's an animated fire engine down there. This looks to be the fuel farm. And we have additional stands and building, which I think is this is cargo. You can see cargo containers. I mean, it all looks pretty good. Loads of detail. As I said, it's a massive project, and so far I think we've done quite a good job, notwithstanding the JETWAY issues. Here's the FEDEX terminal. It's nice, detail is good. There's World Duty Free. Well, that's their building, WFS. No, it's World Freight Services, sorry. And DHL. So while we're here, let's look at some taxiway signage. Again, nicely detailed and weathered on a plinth, not just stuck into the grass. And there you can see blue airfield edge lights as well, all placed in the correct position. They're not infringing the taxiway in any way. So here's the animated train, and that's a pity really. It goes straight through a brick wall. It could have had the tunnel properly modelled, which is a real pity. Okay, let's look at landside. This time we're going south to north. There's the DHL building landside with cars and various trucks and vehicles. Modelling's excellent, no problem with that at all. World Freight Services. Car park looks a bit bland, no cars really. We've got a couple at the other side. Roads are all 3D, little bit of photo scenery here and there, which doesn't really work that well. Here's the FedEx area. Let's come down a bit. And here we are coming towards landside. Again, more freight vehicles here. And it looks good, it's been nicely done. So no complaints about the modelling and the texturing. It's all pretty good, it's fine. Well, the grass area is quite nice, and the trees and foliage have been nicely placed. So here we got the control tower complex again, and the big car park. So here you've got the terminal train that goes between the terminals, and there you can see again the tunnel is blocked. So there's the train coming out. It's a real pity that the tunnels are blocked and you can't see them going through. So as we continue towards the terminal, just slow down a bit here so we can have a look at the detail. So there's the upper and lower departures side of the terminal. Plenty of detail. Got a bus there, can't see any passengers. Again, it's just a little bit of a ghost town sort of thing here, because there's no people. You would think these days now, where we've got to the point where airports can be produced with people, where you've got no frame rate effect at all, that would start to populate these airports and make them a little bit more realistic and ambient. We've got no complaints about the way the airport's designed, and it looks brilliant. Oh, got signs floating in the air there which need to be fixed. But no, it's fine. There you can see the train going underneath. And you look to the left, you can see shops there, sort of lights going on and off. Let's pop inside departures here, the upper level, see what we're presented with. So as you can see, all looks pretty good, but no people, no passengers. You know, detail looks great. No complaints about the detail. You've got high resolution photographs there to give the illusion of a shop. But no, you know, no complaints about the modelling. Okay, so you've got news thing there, and you've got the departure board, which unfortunately is not good enough to read. Very nice. So a quick look at the arrivals lever on the lower level. No real complaints about this, looks fine. Again, just no people, unfortunately. So as before, let's go inside on the arrivals lower level, see what we can see, if anything. So there we go, we've got one. Oh, okay, we're getting bounced about here. Unfortunately, we can't see everything. So arrivals has been modelled in as such that it's there, and the stairs go up, but there's nothing, no check-in. And we do get bounced about in here because there's obviously limited access to this building. So that was a daytime tour of the airport. As you can see, there's plenty to see. Some of it's really good, other parts of it not quite so good, not really up to the sort of standard that Aerosoft produce. But overall the airport is fine. It's a really good version of Milan Malpensa as seen during the day. Let's turn the light down to dusk now. Okay, 4:45 in the evening local time. It's the 21st, we've had second day now, 21st of December 2024. Lights came on about 5 minutes ago. There you can see the sun's practically dipped below the horizon. And here's the view of airside, where you pilots are really interested in. And yeah, it looks fine, it's quite acceptable. They're looking out to the two runways and the stands further down to the south there. And they're looking north. You've got stands here as well, plenty of lighting. You can also see blue airfield edge lights, green centerline taxiway lighting, which is going to be a big help. Here's the Terminal 2 and cargo area we looked at in the beginning. That's all lit up quite nicely. And as you can see, you've got this lovely glow here as the sun dips below the mountains. Could be a really nice place to fly into at dusk. So let's get down to the stand where the 777's parked and see what we can see. So here we are on the stand 409. You've got static vehicles, tugs and stuff there that are lit, which is nice. Stand lighting's pretty good, no Asobo globes floating around anywhere. And yeah, it looks pretty impressive. There's a close-up shot. You can hear the ground power unit. And there's the end of the jetway, which to be honest looks a lot better in the dusk because this is lit and looks a bit more real than it does during the daytime. Well, just another shot there showing you the stand next door, the airside road, and nice to see these little vehicles and stuff here that are particular to the airport, all been nicely modelled. You've got static ones and you've got mobile ones. There's a mobile baggage tug. So here's a view close up to the terminal. Nice to be able to see inside the windows. Just a pity that it's just such a ghost town. So while we're here, let's have a quick look from the flight deck. So here we are inside the flight deck. This is the view out at the front when you park on stand 409 at dusk. The view from the captain's side. And looking out through the first officer's window. So lighting generally doesn't look too bad at all. And just for a change, a quick look through the passenger window out over the wing. And there you can see the animated baggage tugs. And there's our aircraft parked on the stand. So just a quick pass over some of the stands. There you can see internal there, which is actually parallaxed. But overall the lighting looks pretty good, and this airport tends to look a bit better at dusk. Again, you can see in through the terminals. This vision looks a bit better than the last one, but as you can see we've got no passengers, no people sort of peeping out. But for me the airport looks a lot nicer and more realistic at dusk here with the lighting. The lighting really does work. We've got a Sobo globes floating around over here, which does tend to spoil it a bit. So let's go to the tower. Well, the lighting on the tower looks pretty nice. Now here, I didn't notice this before during the day because it was quite hard to see, but you can see we've got two levels. We've got an upper and a lower level. We looked at the upper level before. Let's have a quick look again. So there we are inside the upper level, same as before but with adequate lighting this time. And here's the lower level, another set of controllers. Very nice. So once again, just a very quick pass over here to have a look. Well, the lighting's pretty good. It's a bit brash in some places, but airside looks fine. All of the stands are lit, and you've got taxiway lighting as well. Okay, there you've got green centre line, so you should be okay. Let's just have a look at some of the signage here at the night time. And here we are by one of the runways. You've got the runway signage denoting the runway. You've got red stop bars, which is good, and you've got wigwags as well. So just an overview. Yeah, it looks fine. There really isn't any problem that I can see. Dusk, it looks pretty good. There you've got the cargo apron, DHL, FEDEX and so on. It's really no problem at all. So there's a shot looking at the terminal area from slightly higher angle. There you've got buses and other animated vehicles going along as well, which is good. And there we are looking across to landside. This is the train tracks. I just want to see if a train comes out and see if it's lit at dusk. Be a bonus if it is. In fact, yes, there we go. That's great. Again, these things tend to look a lot better in the darkness hours. So there's a view looking at the landside part of the terminal. Again, plenty of lighting. Still got lots of globes floating around here, which is a pity. There goes the train. And yeah, quite acceptable. Like I said, it's a ghost town, unfortunately. But you know, you have to accept that to some extent this is a huge airport, quite a huge project to take on. And they've got most of it right, notwithstanding some of the JETWAY issues. Nice to see the train animation that's lit in the darkness as well. So many sceneries that have animated trains just fail to light up the train at night. So that was the airport at dusk. Let's take it to night time now and have a look. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see the lighting has come up significantly. And again, you're not really going to have much of a problem taxiing around here at night. Using the charts, navigating the taxiways probably be your biggest problem. Not so much the lighting on the ground. There's plenty of that taken care of. Looking north, there you can see the taxiways, plenty of lighting, centre line and runway lighting as well. And there looking north towards Terminal 2 and the cargo ops there. And looking south, there you've got runway 35 left, threshold to the left, and FEDEX and DHL and World Freight Services down there as well. So let's have a close look up at the stand, starting with a view from the flight deck. So there's the view from the flight deck at night time. This is what you'll see when you park up. And there's the view out the first officer's window, looking pretty good. And once again, the stands look fine, plenty of lighting, all looks pretty realistic. Ground markings are really good, I have to say. So I just wanted to show you the stand does have visual docking guidance system with Safe Dock. Doesn't seem to be working on this stand though. Or maybe there's something I have to do to actually have to activate it. That's something I've got to find out about. Actually, I've just discovered this particular Safe Dock is for stand 499, not 409, which is what my aircraft is parked on. So most likely it would be working if I was on that stand. And actually looking over here, let's go a bit closer. And there you can see it's on. So it's not something you could see really easily from the flight deck, but it's on and it's working. So that's fine. Excellent. So just a couple of shots at night time, not going to go too mad. We've seen it at dusk and the lighting's just come up. It looks pretty good, it really does. And there we are looking out towards the taxiways to the south. And finally looking to the north. Once again, the terminal structure looks good. You can see in through the windows and the inside is lit. It's just a bit devoid of everything, which is unfortunate. And the other one coming back out the other way. Really nice to see that lit up. Makes all the difference. So we have a quick pass over landside going across the building just so you can see what it's like at night time. You've got a parallax long-term multi-storey car park there, which is okay, but doesn't really work that well. Actually, you know, that's the Sheraton Hotel, my apologies. But the lighting's not bad at all. As you can see, the drone camera is running quite freely, so there's no real frame rate issues as such. But yeah, visually it's a very nice spectacle. Okay, so that was night time. If I'm in the right position, we should see the building change the colours as the dawn comes up behind us. Let's see the airport at dawn. Okay, 8:15 in the morning, and there you can see the glow on the buildings as the sun's come up behind us. And also a beautiful view of the mountains in the distance. They're looking north. And they're looking towards the southwest. You've got the cargo area down there. Lights went out about 4 or 5 minutes ago. And there's the sun rising in the east. Okay, it's 9 AM, 45 minutes later. Time to wrap up the view and give you my thoughts. Do I like it? Yeah, it's certainly the best version of Milan Malpensa that's out there. I mean, others may disagree. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's airsoft, which means that in most cases you can think quality. And there's a lot that's good about this airport. The taxiways, the parking areas for the pilots where you guys park up, I'm just going to be realistic. Lots of animations, all local to the airport, they look good. Runways, taxiways, NAVAIDS are perfect as per the charts. The building modelling is good. They haven't done much internally, but then they've said that. It says detailed terminal buildings with visible interior modelling from airside. So basically you see things from airside, and we've already seen that. It's just unfortunate that it's a bit of a ghost town. The things I don't like about it, I think they need to sort out the jetways. I seem to read somewhere that stand numbers have changed, or there's been changes on the airside part of the airport more recently, although the chart I'm looking at with Navigraph in terms of stand numbers seems to match pretty well. But clearly you've got markings on the ground that work, and the aircraft spawns directly onto them, which is fine. I just thought I'd try the 777 because it's a big jet and it does visit here. And this right hand side is the intercontinental area where you'd expect it to park. But it looks like only a handful of stands, maybe one or two, where it sits properly without infringing the airside road. So something you're going to have to think about. And I don't know whether something is going to have to be revisited in the scenery, because clearly you can't park an 777 on the 777 mark on some of these stands. Just a handful of them work. But the modelling is the typical Airsoft top quality. It's really good. I would just like to see some people, some additions. Really good to see the animated train and to see it lit. But yeah, it's fine. In the end of the day, is it worth £19 or is it worth €24? At the moment, if you get it from Contrail, there's a difference of €3 or €3.50 or so. It's a bit more expensive at Simmarket or Airsoft. But the Contrail price is just over £19, or just over $24 US, or just over €23. And those prices include tax, by the way, and they're a lot cheaper, a bit cheaper than the other places. Yeah, but I like it. It's great. I don't fly into Italy much, but I certainly must give this a try. And I'll certainly try it with the Airbus or the 73 and see whether we have similar issues in terms of the jetway. Once again, developers, it would be really nice if we can have the option of having the jetways maybe open or not, as the case may be. Obviously, users of GSX who want to make videos, if you've got closed-end jetway doors, it doesn't look very nice seeing the passengers walk through solid doors. To have some kind of option to switch those on or off for jetway use, for GSX users or non-GSX users, would be a good idea, I think. But yeah, that's just a thought. But overall, I like the airport. I think it's worth the price, certainly at the Contrail price. I think any more than that, I think we're looking at things that they need to add to make it better. Great to see the animated train, and once again, great to see it lit up at night. I'd just like to see a bit more action landside. Certainly now, with the advent of Flight Sim 2024, where this sort of thing is going to become a commonplace. To keep 2020 in the limelight, let's have some more action. Let's have some more ambience and atmosphere. Put some people around. But it's a good airport. And at the Contrail price, I like the fact that it's being offered at that price. It's fine. As I said, there's a GSX profile available on flightsim.to. I will put the link in the description below so you can use that. So there you go, folks. It's Milan Malpensa Airport in Italy, Lima India Mike Charlie. It's the payware version from Aerosoft, and this is version 1, the release version for Flight Sim 2020. A 2024 version is in the works according to Airsoft. This download is 1.38 gigs and it installs at just over 2.6 gigs. It's available from Simmarket, the Contrail shop or the Aerosoft shop. Currently the cheapest price is Contrail by some €3.50. So yeah, nice, it's lovely. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I might not get the Zurich review out. I'm going to try and work it next week. It really depends on time factors, but family's calling next week. Plus I want to get some flying in because I need to do a bit of flights as well. I'm stuck in Manila on the world tour at the moment, and the next stop I want to do is Christmas Island, which is a 4-hour hop. But there we go. This is Milan. in Italy by Aerosoft. I like it. It's worth the price, certainly the Contrail price, certainly the best version out there. There are things they need to look at. We'll see whether they take advantage, but from airside, from a pilot's point of view, it's really nice. So guys, thank you for joining me, thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you. I know it's helped at least one person who's asked me to look at this, but if you've been on the fence about whether to buy it, yeah, I don't know about Xbox users. As I said, I don't use Xbox, and to some extent I rely on comments and help from other users or Xbox users who let me know about their experiences with Xbox, and I thank them for that. That's always useful, and I'll respond to those all the time. So guys, have a wonderful Christmas and a blast of a new year. Those of you using Flight Sim 2024, enjoy it. It looks like it's getting better. My collector's edition arrived a couple of days ago after so many delays. I will install it probably in January, so from January onwards hopefully we'll start doing some 2024 reviews. But I've got a lot to sort of learn as well. So thank you folks, you guys take care, safe flying, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.